Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining for our second day of Stretch and Relax. Hope you all enjoyed the first video and found it useful, and you were able to relax and feel a little bit more loose afterwards. We're going to have another intro class today. We will eventually get flowing and moving a lot quicker, but we're going to take it nice and easy. We have a nice long semester, so we're going to start off nice and easy from the basics. So we're going to repeat a couple of the things that we did on Tuesday's class, a lot of the joint stuff, just warming up the body, and we're going to add a couple new postures in today's class. Remember, feel free to reach out if you guys don't have any questions at all. I'm always available to answer your messages via Blackboard or email. It usually takes me about a day, if not sooner than that. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to get started with the new breath today called Ujjayi breath. So from Tuesday, we learned yogic breath, the yogic breathing, the full deep breaths. Today, we're doing Ujjayi breath. So it's also considered a pranayama, which is just a breathing technique. It's known as ocean breath, sometimes even fire breath, or the victorious breath. It's a breath that is audible, so you should be able to hear this breath. It's a breath that really grounds you, and it helps us bring ourselves into the present moment. A lot of the time, this breath is used in flow yoga, but today we're going to use it in more of a yin style. So there's a couple different types of yoga. There's a lot of variations of yoga. Some of the main ones are vinyasa. That's where you're moving from posture to posture using the breath. There's also a yoga called yin yoga, kind of the opposite of vinyasa, where you're moving very slow. You're staying in each posture for 1 to even 6 minutes. That's what we're going to be doing today, yin yoga. So we're going to be holding the postures for a couple minutes. We're not going to do 6 minutes, but we're going to do for a couple minutes each. So that's just an overview of what we have to look forward to today. So we're going to start with our Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath. And so you want to act like you're fogging up a window in front of you. Okay, so you want to make the sound when you're doing this breath. We're first going to try it with the mouth open, and we're going to try it with the mouth closed. So take a couple natural breaths before we begin. Good. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, mouth open. Do that 3 more times. Nice big inhale, maybe even close down the eyes. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. One more. Nice big inhale. Good. We'll take a little break, a couple of natural breaths in between. When you first begin doing this practice, since you're using breathing and using a lot of oxygen during this breath, make sure to take a couple of breaks in between before you start doing it for an extended period of time. We're going to do the same thing we just did, but now we're going to do it with our mouth closed. Still trying to make that sound where our mouth is closed. So it comes from the back of our throat. So let's go ahead and give it a nice try here. So nice big inhale. Exhale, mouth closed gently. Inhale, nice big inhale. Mouth closed. Good. We'll do 2 more. Another trick is to put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Let your mouth be gently closed. Okay. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Make it audible. Good. Very nice. A couple natural breaths in between. Maybe you can see how that kind of heated you up a little bit there. Hopefully you felt it. So go ahead and use that breath during our practice today. It is a breath, since we're going to be holding the postures for a little longer, our mind may try to wander. It's a breath to use to bring yourself back here, back into the present moment. Hear it, feel it. So give it a try during today's class. So let's go ahead and get started with some movement. If you have any wrists or bracelets on, go ahead and take them off. We're going to start with our opening and closing of our hands, getting some blood flow through those fingers. Maybe you've been on a computer today, maybe you've been doing some homework in the library. Go ahead and just open and close, shake it out. Just going to do some wrist circles, doing about 10 each direction. Maybe you want to take it slow. You don't want to rush it too quick, right? So find that nice pace that feels good for your body. And reverse. We're going to keep our arms straight in front of us, open and close, about 10 times, getting into those wrists. Spending some time here to relax, unwind the body a little bit before we get back to it. Go ahead and flip the palm, same thing. Out. And same thing, just put your palms down. Go ahead and shake it out here. Hands on the, go ahead and place your fingertips on the shoulders here, elbows up towards the screen, open and close, arms straight. Notice if you're trying, if your shoulders are pulled up through your ears, make sure you're making space between your shoulders and your ears. And release. All right. Fingertips back on the shoulders here. Bring those elbows together. Try to bring them to touch. And then open them up nice and big. Stretch that chest open. Down and back. Bring together. 10 here. So opening up the chest. Kind of counteracting that punching forward that we tend to do during the day. On our phones, on our computers, driving. Notice if you punch forward a bit. Try to sit straight up. That helps the energy flow through the body. A lot better. A few more here, and then we're going to reverse the direction. Reverse. Focusing on the breath. Hopefully you all turn on some nice and relaxing music. And just search on YouTube or Spotify for yoga music or yin yoga music. That'll be a bit more relaxed. If you didn't, feel free to pause the video and put on some music. It really does help. Go ahead and release. We're going to do some rotator cuff work. So just elbows straight out towards the side here. We're just going to fold the hands down and get up. That's 1, 2, good. Going for 10. Might notice this is a little bit of a workout. There's a lot of little muscles in your shoulder, your rotator cuff. Just little movements like this help activate them. 4 more. Last 2. 1 more. Very nice. Go ahead and shake it out. Let's do some shoulder rolls here. Shoulders up towards your ears, roll down and back. Keep it going. And if the posture, if your seat is ever uncomfortable, always switch it up. If you want to put legs out in front of you, legs out wide, or maybe switch foots on the bottom, feel free to do that. Keep things even, and go ahead and reverse. Shoulders forward, down and back. And notice our posture. We should still be sitting up nice and straight. Very good. So big sweep with the arms here. Reach up overhead like we're trying to grab something on the ceiling. And then exhale. Bring the right fingertips down. Reach the left arm up and over. So you want to keep your body nice and upright, like we're almost in 2 planes of black. So notice if you're hunching forward or maybe leaning back too far. Imagine you're in two planes of blacks. Just reach up and over. Inhale, lift. Big reach, like we're stretching up towards the sky. Left hand down, reach up and over. Planes of blacks, right? One more time, each side. Inhale, lift, big reach here. Stretch those arms up. Right hand down. Maybe we're starting on fingertips. That's just fine. Maybe you want to plant the full hand down. Maybe you want to even reach a little further. Feel that stretch even deeper. Inhale, lift. One more time. Left hand down. Maybe you're on the fingertip, palm, or maybe we're reaching. Notice if one side feels a little more open than the other. Slowly coming. Inhale, left. We're going to take a nice gentle twist here. Right fingertips tent behind the body. Start with the tent. Left hand falls onto the leg here, onto the knee. So first we're going to inhale, lift the spine. So like you have a string on your head, lifting you up towards the sky. So first inhale and then exhale. Take a peek over your right shoulder. All right, we're adding a little bit of a neck stretching here. No need to force it, just enjoy it. Inhale, lift. We'll switch sides. Reach, reach, reach. Left fingertips are going to come tent behind the body. Right hand on that knee here. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, left over the left shoulder. Take that gaze. Feel this in the neck. Nice and easy, gentle stretch. Still just waking up the body here. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right fingertips behind the body, left hand on the thigh. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, look over that right shoulder. Last twist here. Inhale, lift, reach. Exhale, left fingertips behind the body, right hand on that thigh. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, left shoulder. Inhale, lift, back to center, release, hands come on the knees here. Adjust to your stance if you need to. We're gonna do some cat-cows, okay? So you want your hips to be nice and both evenly on the ground, so we need to adjust. Seated cat-cows. We're gonna drop our hands on our knees. Inhale, lift, shine your collarbone, nice long collarbone. Exhale, chin to chest, round and curl. I'm gonna go from the side so you guys can see me. So we're gonna do 3 more here. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round and curl. Push that back behind you, chin to chest. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, chin to chest, round and curl. One more. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round and curl. Push that back, that spine behind you. Inhale, lift, back to neutral. Very nice. So we're going to turn and flip our legs around. We're going to find ourselves in what's called a tabletop. So knees are directly underneath our hips. You should have a little bit of space in between there. At least about hip width distance, okay? And then hands are shoulder width apart. We want to check our spine, so we don't want to be rounding. We want enough space for our spine to be nice and even. Make sure our core is nice and engaged. This is a core activation posture, so you should feel it ignite that core a little bit. So you're going to reach, start with that right hand, reach it straight out in front of you. Shift your weight to your right knee, extend your left leg behind you. You want this straight line of energy from your fingertips out your toes, okay? You can flex or you can point, whatever feels best for you. You're gonna hold here for about 5 breaths. Find that Ujjayi breath. So got about 3 more breaths here. Notice if you're swaying side to side, keep that core active, keep the body balanced. 2 more breaths. One more nice big inhale. Exhale, release. Very nice. We're going to push our hips back into what's called a child's pose. So untuck your toes, push your hips back in between your feet. Arms are extending up overhead, maybe even walk them a little further, and let your head, your forehead come down to the mat. Allow the body to relax here. A couple breaths. Good. One more inhale and exhale. Take it forward. We're going to switch sides. Opposite arm should be your left arm. Extend in front of you. You're going to shift your weight to your left knee. Your right leg extends behind you. Straight line of energy from our fingertips out our toes. Nice big ujjayi breaths. 3 more breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, bring it on down. Find that child's pose. On this child's pose, these can stay where they were. You can make them wide. You can make them narrow. Whatever feels best for your body. I find that wide knees, toes touching, allows me to sink a little deeper. So try out, feels what's best for you. We're going to hang out here. 5 breaths. Let your forehead come down. Maybe you can find that ujjayi breath here. 3 more breaths. Good. Next inhale is going to bring us back to that tabletop. Adjust the knees. They should be underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. So similar to our seated cat-cow, we're going to try it in our tabletop position. So starting with a nice neutral spine, you want to drop your belly, so let it hang. This is going to make your tailbone point. So go ahead and start there, and then inhale. Take a big inhale as you look up here. You can feel this in our low back. Now exhale, point that tailbone down towards the ground, round and curl back, goes up towards the sky, navel to spine. Make sure that chin is towards your chest. Take 2 more, drop the belly, point the tailbone, inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round and curl. Take 1 more on your own breath, inhale, lift. Exhale, round and curl. Very good. Come back to neutral. From this position, we're going to move into thread the needle posture, okay? So shift your weight to your left hand, reach your right arm up towards the sky. You're going to thread the needle. Right arm comes underneath the left. Bring your right shoulder down and your right ear down onto the mat. So you should end up in that posture with your right shoulder down, right ear down. You should be looking towards the left. Keep your hips high. And hold here. So here we go again. Hold here. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths. You can keep your arm next to the side of the body. I'm going to go ahead and switch around here so you all can hear me. You could keep your left arm close to the body here, or you could reach it around towards your left hip. You could also extend it up overhead, right? This is going to add a little bit of support. Whatever feels best for you, right? We're just doing what's best for our own body. Whatever feels good. It should feel pretty relaxing. You may need to lift your head and adjust your neck. Try to keep your hips from going one direction or another. Keep them nice and upright, down the center. Couple more breaths here and then we'll switch sides. Good. Inhale that left arm right back up to the ceiling. Let it come down. Inhale, right arm sweeps up, and we come back into this neutral tabletop. So now we're going to do the other side. Plant down through your right hand. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Left hand underneath the right. Left ear comes down, left shoulder. Here we are. So you want to keep your hand here on the side of the body for support. You could reach it up overhead for a little bit deeper stretch. You could reach towards your left hip for a bind. Find what works best for you today. No pressure, no need to force anything. 3 more breaths here. Opening up those shoulders. Nice upper body twist here. Couple more breaths. Good. And if that arm was bound or up overhead, bring it back next to the face here to help bring your left arm up towards the sky. Untwist here. And release. Nice. So we're going to do some hip circles from here. Get your knees at least hip width or maybe even a little wider. Drop your hips back down towards your heels. Take it over towards the right. Take it up towards the top of your mat and over towards the left. These big circles here. May feel a little funny. We probably don't do hip circles too often. But what you want to concentrate on is on the outside. Try to feel it into the hip flexors, maybe even the IT band on the outside of the leg here. Really feel into the body. Connect with your body here. And go ahead and reverse the direction. Nice and big. Same with that breath. One more big circle. Release. So we're going to move into what's called pigeon pose now. So it's a lower body posture. It's another yin posture. So we are going to hold it for at least, we're going to hold this one for 90 seconds. If you feel like you need to come out of it, please do. If you feel like you need to pause the video and take a little break, please do. But try to sit through it. You don't want to ever feel any kind of pain. So if you have pain, come out of it and try to get back in. If you guys have any questions, if you do have pain and you're a little bit concerned, please send me an email. So go ahead and find yourself in tabletop position. Right side, bring your right knee up to touch your right wrist. Now shimmy that foot over across the thigh. So let me give you a front visual here as well. So we're here, bring your right knee up to your right wrist and foot comes over the leg. Okay, we should be here. Now lift high up on the back toes and give yourself a little bit more space. So from here, high up on the toes, push your body back. Untuck the toes. But we should be here in this pigeon posture. If it feels like it's too much on the knee, if you feel any pressure in the knee, bring that foot back underneath. If you would like, if you have a block, stick that block right underneath this right glute. You could also roll up a towel, roll up a blanket, stick that underneath. We want it to feel good. We want it to feel relaxing, something that you can stay here for 90 seconds. So find that position. Now envision 2 strings on the hips. The hip bones are pulling you straight forward. If you notice one string is coming from that way, pull it back straight forward, right arm, hips going forward. From there, take an inhale, lengthen the spine, sit upright, and fold. Come over that front leg. So maybe we're here today with our hands planted on the ground. Maybe we're here with our elbows down. Maybe we're all the way down with our forehead on the mat. Totally up to you. Find what level feels best for you, where you can feel it most in the glute, in the hips, in the front of the leg, the quad, even on the inside and the groin. You should feel it all in the lower body. Find the sweet spot for you. Maybe as we hold here a little longer, you start coming down. We still have over a minute here. In these uncomfortable positions, try to find that ujjayi breath. Use that as a tool to help pull you through this practice, to help guide you through the postures. Long, deep breaths. Notice if the mind is wandering. Bring it back to the breath. Maybe you can feel that opening happen in the hips. Send your breath there. About 30 more seconds. You can close down the eyes. Really allow yourself to tune in. Very good. We have about 10 seconds left. Take a couple more breaths. Good. And release. So you're going to bring your hands back underneath the body here. Tuck your back toes under. Lift up. Step it back. We're in this high plank position. Go ahead and walk it out. Okay, get some blood flow back into that leg. Walk it out. Woo. That should feel pretty good. Or we do the other side. Good. Come back into this tabletop position. We're going to do the left side here. Again, so make sure we have a good amount of space between our wrists and our knees. If we're here, right, we're not going to be set up right. Go ahead and walk it out. Make sure our spine is long. You can even walk a couple inches further up than a regular tabletop. Now shimmy or bring that left knee to touch the left wrist. It should actually be touching here. Then bring that left foot over the right thigh. Come high up on those toes. Give yourself some more space, right? So this is just setting us up to get a little bit more space between our legs. So find what feels good for you. If that's too far, bring it back in. If we feel like we're too high, if our hips are really high here, I think we'll need a block, or you put a block underneath that left hip, or a rolled up towel or blanket. Now check in with the hips, see if they're pointed forward, right? Imagine a string, see if they're coming straight ahead. It should be bring it back in if not. Checking in with all these little cues first before we inhale, lift and lengthen. That sinks us into that posture a bit. And exhale, fold over the legs. Maybe we're on the hands, maybe we're on the forearms, maybe we're our head. It's all the way down. Create a little pillow with your hands. I'm going to stay upright. That's what feels good for me today. So even in this posture, make sure we're not rounding and curling. So notice if we're hunched forward, stay lifted, stay lengthened. And we're going to be here about 90 seconds. We've been here about 15 seconds already. This is a good time to focus on that breath. If you're not feeling the Ujjayi breath, maybe try the yogic breath, where we breathe from the belly to the chest to the shoulders and reverse. You can also put a color to your breath or count your breath. Those are both really good techniques to help focus the mind. Pick what feels best for you. Just past a minute, so we've got about 30 seconds left. Noticing the breath, see if it's getting short and shallow. Try to elongate the breath. Breath is a good technique to allow the muscles to relax. Right? So if it feels like the muscle is tense and tightened, try to focus that breath to help it relax, to help it loosen. So I'll take one big inhale and exhale. Good. Tuck the back toes under. Go ahead and step it back. Find this plank. Walk it out. Good. We're almost done with class for today. Hopefully the lower body's feeling good. The upper body's feeling pretty good. So hopefully the mind is just relaxed, taking some time away from the day. Just relax and unwind. So we're going to roll around and we're going to find ourselves on our back. So bend your knees, walk your feet in towards your glutes. Feet should be at least hip width apart. And go ahead and inhale, lift the hips, finding yourself in a bridge posture here. You should feel it in your low back, releasing your low back, maybe working it a little bit, but it should never be hurting. Just hold there. Even squeeze your glutes a bit here. And exhale, release. Bring your feet max distance apart. So just walk them to the edge of your mat. Let your knees fall to the right and to the left. Keeping your upper body where it's at. So bring it back to center. Right. Inhale, exhale, left. These are called windshield wipers. Really good for the hips. Really good to just loosen up that lower body area, back and forward. We're gonna do at least we're on 3. We're gonna do at least 7 more. So that is 4, 5, take 5 more. 1 more. Good. Bring your knees back up toward the sky, and then bring your knees in toward your chest. Taking just a couple rolls. Let your head stay on the mat. Just bring your knees up toward your chest. Maybe a lot, maybe a little, whatever feels best for you today. Just massaging that back. You can feel a nice massage in that low back, maybe even mid back. And reverse, other direction. Big circles here. Very nice. All right. So now we come into the fun posture, the Shavasana, the just relaxing posture. So go ahead and stick those feet up towards the sky. Maybe adjust your hips to make sure we're right down the middle. Bring your mindfulness to your right leg. Take an inhale. Exhale as slow and controlled. Bring that right leg all the way down to the ground until that heel touches the mat or the ground there. We do the same thing with the left leg. Take an inhale and exhale as mindful as you can. Drop it all the way down to the mat. Good. Maybe you need to adjust the tailbone if it feels off. We're going to do the same thing with the arms. Reach, like we're reaching up toward the sky. Exhale, sweep that right arm down. Maybe you can feel the air move from around the hand here as you bring it down. Good. Inhale, exhale, bring that left hand all the way down. Finding our final Shavasana, our final posture for the day. So make sure you adjust to make sure this is comfortable for you. Here, we're going to be here at least 10 long breaths. I like my feet a little wide. That just allows my feet to fall out more naturally. And bring your hands on the side of the body here. Notice if your shoulders are shrugged, try to unshrug them there, pull them down, make space. You can even do arms straight out to the side, whatever is best for you. And then close down the eyes here. Get out any fidgeting that you may need to do, adjust the clothes, whatever you got to do, and then close the eyes down. And bring the attention to the breath. I want us to all work on a Ujjayi breath here in this final position, final posture for the day. Just give yourself a couple extra minutes here of relaxation. You deserve it. Bring your attention to the breath. Taking an inhale, exhale with the H-ah sound. Take another inhale. Exhale. 3 more like this. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale. Very good. So get a couple natural breaths in between before we do 5 more. This time we're going to try to do the H-ah sound with our mouth closed. Again, a good technique is bringing the tongue to the roof of the mouth, letting the lips touch gently, just softening them together. So you don't want to be clenching your jaw, you don't want to be squeezing your lips together, let it be nice and loose. Your jaw should be slightly relaxed. 5 more here. Inhale, nice big inhale. Exhale. Feel that in the back of your throat there. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Good. Relax. Keep the eyes closed for a couple more breaths here. Just feeling into the body, noticing if you can feel any energy circulating through the body here. After some nice stretching and mindfulness practice. Done. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Reach the arms up overhead for a nice big stretch here, like we just woke up in the morning. Good, and relax. Again, to get out of Shavasana, roll over to the side. Bring your top hand to help you up into a seated position. Again, take your time doing that, no rush. Take it as nice and as slow as you would like. So that wraps up our day 2 of Stretch and Relax. So thank you all for joining again today. Be sure to submit the review. This is how we're going to receive participation points for each class. And thank you again all for being here. Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Reach out for any questions or comments or concerns. All right, I will see you all next week. Thank you.